Hey guys, quick heads up before this video starts. This is indeed part 2 of our interview with Wes Keltner Ronnie Hobbs. So if you haven't seen part 1, make sure you go check that out. That one dives more into Friday the 13th, the game, and their inspiration for making it. But this one's a little bit different. Remember, this was recorded several months ago before Layers of Fear 2 was announced, so we will discuss a little bit of Project Miliace, and then we'll just dive into who Ronnie and Wes are as people. They're great dudes, and I think you'll like what they have to say. So with that, that's enough from me. Enjoy the interview. So you announced a while back Project Miliace, which is a code name, so we still don't know where we're heading there.
Right.
You team with Bloober though, so a lot of people know Bloober because Bloober released Layers of Fear for free on Xbox, and from there everyone started really enjoying it.
Yep.
So combining a team that is pretty devoted to horror and having such a really successful game, and then going with another team devoted to horror. I'm really excited to see where it goes. Are you able to give us anything?
Well, I mean, we could talk a little bit about, the relationship. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, all right.
Yeah. No, it was built out of the relationship, the partnership, or whatever was built out of mutual respect, and both teams are into horror a lot. We both have a good knowledge of past and present horror film, and the more that we hung out with those guys and talked to them, played of course their first game, and then played is Observer, which had Rutger Hauer as a character or VO and whatnot in it, which had this more sort of cool cyberpunky kind of vibe in a abandoned apartment kind of thing, techno-y. But still, nonetheless, they had a style about them. They had a horror voice that they wanted to bring to the masses, and I think a lot of people enjoy their style. And they liked what we did with Friday. So when we first started just kind of talking shop about stuff that we're cooking up, we started looking at some projects that they kind of had on the back burner, or at least were still sort of working on it. And we're like, this is kind of interesting, and have you thought about this or you thought about that? And they're like, that'd be cool. And then it was just sort of this collaboration that came to fruition, just built out of mutual respect between the teams, that they know horror and we do too. A lot of their emphasis and stuff, since where they are, they're based in Poland, it's more of an Eastern European vibe to some of their horror, and we're I guess a little bit more American in our in our 70s, 80s type of horror. Even looking back at 60s films and giallo and stuff, I could thank Ronnie for that, because I knew nothing about giallo films until I met Ronnie. Yeah, nobody would want it.
No, this man.
Blood and Black Lace.
Right. Yeah.
Torso.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite movies ever.
I want
Black Lace.
Yeah. They'd be too sick and twisted. No one would even be able to make it. Yeah, but that happens a lot in the video game industry. People get together and talk about their projects and become friends, and like, oh man, I loved your game. Like, oh, I loved your game, and then you're at E3 and you're chatting and you're having dinner, and they talk about a project, and you go, "Let us help you." Oh my God, and like, oh really? And so it's not a thing we sought out or they sought out. It was just coming together, and we really liked what they were doing, so they showed us something we thought was really cool.
And we knew that we could add a little bit to it too. We could bring some of our sort of style and stuff to the game too, and I think they saw that that we had a lot to offer too. But getting into what is the game about and stuff, we're not ready there to talk about it.
Are you willing to properly reveal a genre?
I mean, it's horror, but that's kind of what they're known for. It's what we're known for. But
I think
I
everyone's
just
seen
wanted
that.
to hear you actually say it, because I don't think you ever actually have. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, we did.
Well, you see the first teaser and you kind of get a vibe that it's like, this isn't a happy.
It's not a battle royale game.
Right.
It could have been action, thriller. I don't know, man. Genres are all over the place.
Yeah.
So okay, now you're 2 horror games in a row. Is that the path you want to keep going down as the future goes? Is to stick with horror?
Yeah, I think we're good at it. So
Plus a lot of stuff we haven't done and we want to do.
Yeah.
Too in it.
It's really difficult to bring. Because we like multiplayer. It's we enjoy what that the socialization of it, the communities that get built around it, the water cooler moments the next day, right? You don't really. I mean, you can try to have those in a single player. Hey, did you play this game?
Only if it's Grand Theft Auto or something massive open world where you can have those interactions.
Right, but for the most part, that's a singular moment for you when you play the single player thing, and you're like, wow, that was really cool. That happened to me. But in multiplayer, everyone was there to experience it and had a different viewpoint, and silly things and funny things, or truly scary things happened. That to me is more valuable. It means more when someone was there with you to like live through it, or, have the experience together. But on the other side of the coin, it makes our job from early concept, to write the design for it, makes it extremely difficult to. How do you make it a horror game and keep it a horror game, right? It may be that for the first 50 times you play it, but the next 1,500 times you play it, it's not scary anymore, right? It's a very difficult thing to try to pull off, but I like trying. Like I like to be faced with something like that's hard. We should try to do that instead of just.
That's hard. We should try to do that. It's true though.
Yeah. I mean,
We've had that conversation.
I don't want to, get out of bed every day and just like, put out something that's easy that there's 20 other ones just like it or whatever on the market. Like that doesn't do anything for me as someone that strives to try to push hard and be creative in the designs that we come up with. I don't want to just make something that already exists.
Say, we know that works. Put it out. Yeah, horror for now. We have a million ideas that aren't horror, but
sure.
For right now, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's cool to see people actually like devote to the horror genre because it's not a dying genre, but it kind of was. It was really quiet for a while, and then you just see these really big gaps in gaming.
It was dominated by Japanese for the longest time.
Yeah.
It was there weren't a lot of American horror games, and the ones that were out weren't very good. Yeah. Now I think it kind of turned it a little bit. So I think that's what made it more popular. More companies are making horror games, better games out. Soma, things like that are really great. Until Dawn. I mean, there's a lot of it.
How good was that game?
Yeah.
Until Dawn.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just saying, you look like you didn't play it for a second. I was like,
No.
you didn't play it? Okay.
I've beaten it like 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Such a good game.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know that game comes out 15 years ago.
Right.
I'm not even talking about tech. I'm just talking about companies weren't invested in horror, especially American companies like that. So it was either Resident Evil or Silent Hill, and that was it.
Yeah.
Essentially, for like Fatal Frame, but that died off. And so it's good that we have this resurgence.
What kind of games did like you guys play the most when you were younger? What kind of like inspired you to get into this?
It's genre or games?
Well, a little bit of both actually, because I'm sure that they're very separate stories. But
Oh yeah, we all have those.
I'm really curious. I'm getting into gaming. It's a tough place to strive. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really curious what made you want to do it.
Sure.
I started playing when I was a kid and didn't stop. And then when you get older, you're like, what am I going to do for a living? Okay, games.
What kind of games did you
That's
play?
the short story.
What kind of games did you play?
Every game.
Just every single
I was
one?
all, yeah. That was my goal, was to play every game.
You got any favorites? Favorite console?
PS1.
Oh, okay.
Probably from top to bottom, I had my favorite games.
So like you're a Doom guy.
No.
Dang it! I feel like
On
Yeah.
PS1? No. Did that game come out on PS1?
No, technically it was PC.
No,
but,
yeah.
you know,
It definitely wasn't a PC kid. I didn't have a PC when I was a kid, so it was all console. So
Okay. All right.
Atari, that's where I started. Had every single system ever released ever since then.
Wow.
Jaguar, everything, had it all. My goal was to play every single game. I'm not joking. So my favorites are all over the map. RPGs, sports, horror, they're all over the place. So that's where I get a lot of inspiration from, actually. A lot of the ideas that when we brainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull in ideas from NBA 2K9 that I saw.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's weird. I'm like, but it works,
So I know Ish said he had a list of every game he's like ever played.
Yeah.
And
I think when I was a kid I did, but I stopped that list.
Well, he said he was at like 980 games played. Where do you think you sit in that?
How many games have been released?
He does play a lot of games.
Okay.
I mean, not a PC is a little harder because there's so many PC games that come out.
Right.
But console games, I can probably play them all. I tried to, even as far back as I could. But obviously, I can't play them all. But I always get the feeling I'm missing something if I don't play them. Like as a creator,
Yeah.
like, and especially your peers are releasing games, and you know how smart they are. So if you don't play their games, it's probably you're missing something in there.
Because you don't,
You know,
when you're when you're young, when you don't make games, concept games, design games, or develop games, or whatever, if you're in the industry, like pre that, you play games because they're fun. After that, you play games because it's like continuing education.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People that get those CEDs, like the extra, whatever, psychologists have to go to so many conferences and take studies and do these things, right? It's the same thing, right? Is you pick up a game not because you're like, this is going to be so much fun. You pick up the game because you're like, I know this team, right? I know their lead designer, and that dude is next level smart. So I need to play this, even if the subject is something you care nothing about, because you will find something in it that you're like, man, that's really brilliant. How they did this, right? How they tied that back to this aspect of the metagame, or man, this one gameplay loop should feel monotonous, but it doesn't. Why?
Yeah. Why are they so good? I mean, that's really when you're breaking it down. Almost like a filmmaker watching another film and they're looking at establishing shots and they're going, you know. So that's really what we do now. Like, occasionally I'll play a game with my kid, like we're playing Spider-Man now, and that's fun. But I'm also secretly looking at all the cool shit they do. But I am having fun playing that game. Normally I don't play games and have fun. I just look at them now and break them down. But so I always feel like there's something I'm missing if I don't play games. Being like working in games, I'm like, man, I know there's something out there. If I could just find it, like I could use that and make it cooler, or it could spawn an idea or something.
So, but my cousin had 2600. That was my first time I got to play a game, period. It was combat. So actually my first game ever was a multiplayer co-op game.
Funny.
Right. And I was just mind blown that was like a thing, that he had a joystick, I had a joystick, and we could see on the screen at the same time that we were doing something. I was like, oh my God, I think I was 4, like my brain melted, and I was like, yep, this is it. Like, this is the thing forever. I want to do this. But then, moving into that, I had some consoles, of course, the original Nintendo and so on and so forth, and I played the shit out of just about everything I get my hands on. For that, I gravitated towards, sometimes I went through weird things where I just wanted to play beat 'em ups and stuff, like Double Dragon or Final Fight or whatever. Like, I'd go through these phases, like I just want to do that, and then I would get into like kind of flight sort of games and things. I enjoyed those sometimes. But then PC, and I got my own PC, and I was able to build and upgrade and do stuff with it, and so I started embracing PC gaming, and I kind of fell in love with RTS, and I started playing like RTS.
Wars and shit like that.
I mean, for a long time, that was like, if it ain't that, I don't really want to play it. Remember the first time I played the first Medal of Honor, and I was like, oh wow, this is cool.
I remember the day I played that too on PC. My friend had a PC. It was like, it blew my mind.
Yeah. And then I think when I got to basically probably my senior, senior year, you get a car, and then there's girls, and then you're like, you kind of...
I missed a couple years there.
Yeah, the console or the PC kind of gathers dust, and you go out and, I'm going to try a beer, I'm going to, do this and that or whatever. So you kind of live through that part. And then it wasn't until, probably my sophomore year of college that, I moved in with a bunch of different dudes. We all rented this house. Yeah. And so, like, one guy was basically a console guy, so he had, like, every console. And the rest of us were PC players, so we'd set up a home LAN and then just sit and play Rainbow Six. Just tons and I mean, like, old school, not Vegas, but like
Rogue Spear.
Right. Yeah, Rogue Spear and games like that.
That's like when we met.
Because I remember that. I was so like head down on PC, and at the time, Official PlayStation Magazine still put out demo discs.
Oh yeah.
And so I go to Ronnie's house, and this was probably 2004. I don't remember the year. Yeah. And I'm like bullshit with him. He's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, you need to check this out." And that throws me this demo disc that came with the thing. I'm like, "What is it?" He's like, "Oh, it's this game called Shadow Colossus." And I was like, yeah, "Okay, whatever." And like go home, throw it in. I'm like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "This is the greatest thing of all time." Yeah. Still to this day, it's my favorite game.
Yeah. Even did like a TED talk on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love that game. It's because it was I'd never seen anyone.
It's not a PC game, It's not
no,
a PC type of
it's not. But it's even like the fact that they say, "Oh, well, the enemy is the level."
Yeah, there's nothing.
right? The level's the enemy. You're like, what the fuck? You know, that is, for me, that was another one of those moments where my brain just kind of like, wow, like this is incredible.
That was the start of our journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird to hear like different starting stories to those things.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know what the first game is I remember playing. Like Grand Theft Auto 3. Like,
Maybe you can help me. Like I played the first game I ever played was in school on a computer, a floppy disk.
Oh, yeah.
It was a horror choose your own adventure game. It had like Dracula and werewolves and shit in it, and you would go into a house and you'd get eaten.
The Seventh Guest? I can't even remember Seventh Guest. I
mean,
remember we had it.
It had to be like 82.
That's an Ish question. I bet Ish knows.
But that was the first game I played. But the first real game I played was like Circus Atari. And the balloons.
Oh, yeah.
The balloons.
wow.
Wore that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing the horror games on Atari.
Oh yeah.
So like as a fan, you gotta play. I was playing. I have an emulator of like Halloween and stuff like that.
Oh, God.
It's just like, wow, this is really bad.
Yeah, these are horrible. Yeah. People like pick on the Friday the 13th game, but it's actually good.
Yeah, that's what I always tell everyone. It's like you guys.
You should go play the Leather or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, and then
that one too.
Or Freddy's game. Those are horrible.
Yeah,
it makes the Friday the 13th game like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
With all bats and zombies, you're throwing rocks. Like, oh, this is great.
Right.
Compared to that.
Yeah, everyone always hates E.T. on Atari. I'm like, listen, they tried. All right, they were like,
they tried
some complicated stuff there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just running around.
Yeah.
Halloween game, you stab with a sword, then you do it again. Stab with a sword.
Yeah. It was
over and over again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what about horror? It was like usually people have a really fun story about the first horror movie they've seen, or the one that actually like got them into horror. Like, what is that for you guys?
The first horror movie I ever saw. Well, the one it's probably because my mom did not know what Return of the Living Dead was. I didn't necessarily either, but I saw the poster that was coming soon to our movie theater, and so I knew it was going to come out. So I asked my mom, "We should go see this movie," and she's like, "Okay."
The name.
I'm trying to think of the year when that was, so I can give you Return of the Living Dead, so I can give you like how old I was.
86, right?
86 or 7.
Yeah.
And
So you were born in 9.
I was born in 79.
Yeah.
So I was only like 7 or 8 or something, right?
Yeah.
Should not have seen this movie, right? Like not old enough to see this movie.
Quickly dancing naked all over.
Oh, I didn't even make it that far. Like, first of all, like my mom's like terrified. I'm all like, "Oh my God, this is the scariest thing I've ever seen." And she's like, she just whispers over, "We're leaving," you know. And I'm like, "Oh man," you know. So
that doesn't even count. Though.
It doesn't count. I guess I didn't see the whole thing. Man, well, it was probably.
You probably saw something like Poltergeist or something.
But we had HBO when I was.
So like one of those films.
That I sat through and watched the whole thing. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I remember like.
I don't remember mine either.
I remember.
What?
I
You remember the moment you were like petrified?
Dude, I was like 2, bro. Like it was really young. Like, I'm cursed. That's what I always say. I was cursed as a child. Mom let me watch like whatever, and now here I am.
Yeah.
Working in the horror genre.
I remember sneaking into my sister's room, and she had her own TV, which I was jealous of. I didn't have one. And my parents had gone to bed. She was spending the night with her girlfriend, and I went over and I hit eject in her VHS thing, and out popped the Lost Boys. And I was like,
See, that's
and I'm like, I don't know what this is, and I went and put it in and watched it. And was like, wow.
And you fell in love.
This is cool. Like I remember explicitly, vividly doing that, but I can't say like that was the first one. Like
right,
because I remember liking horror before that. So I remember reading Fangoria in the grocery store, like with Mad Magazine on the outside, so my mom didn't know what I was looking at. You know, like I remember horror being like a thing I was drawn to, but I can't put my finger on like the first time I ever saw a horror movie. It was this movie, and this,
right.
I don't know. You remember yours?
Yeah. Prom night, I hid behind my dad's recliner and watched it. I snuck down the stairs. Turns out they knew I was there. They didn't care.
Nice.
I went to prom night. That was when I was like 5, I
You
think.
think they would have said something? You're sitting
They
there,
didn't care.
uncomfortable.
Just
the
prom
whole
night.
movie.
I think they just like, as long as he's not screaming or talking, just leave him alone.
Right.
Like you're a kid.
I'm not
That's your goal,
I'm not
man.
even saying so much that you shouldn't watch it, but it's like you're sitting back there all uncomfortable. It's like, damn, let me sit on the couch.
No, don't bother him. Just let him sit there, and he won't disturb our movie.
Yeah.
I think it's what the goal is. But then I saw Texas when I was like 9.
How'd you react to it?
It petrified me. Like I was, it scarred me for life. But now it's what.
Maybe your parents like took that approach where it's like,
They used me in with
well, it's like,
prom night.
kid touches, the stove and it's like, well, you kind of need to do that.
I told you not to
figure
do it,
that
but you
out.
did it anyway.
Right. Like you need to have that experience.
You need to get burned.
don't do that, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe they thought, like, go ahead, let him watch it. He's going to be scared to death. He won't sleep tonight. And
No.
nope.
That was my gateway drug to like.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something wrong when I was a kid. Everyone always has that story, like, it scared me so much that it intrigued me. I don't remember ever being
What
scared.
did you watch though?
Yeah, like my earliest memory of going back and like sitting in front of the TV in the living room on a VCR is Part 7. Is Friday the 13th Part 7.
Mm.
I know the movies that stuck to me so much were Halloween and Scream. Like I ruined
Part 7 is not really traumatizing though.
No, it's not. But I mean, Halloween you think would.
Halloween's a little.
I would have been
No.
3 or 4.
Okay, yeah, that's.
Yeah, and I was like, I walked around. I remember because I was so obsessed with, especially Friday the 13th. I'd have like costumes and I could dress up and just walk around my house, just being Jason.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with it, man?
Yeah.
We would say there's nothing wrong with that. Right?
Yeah.
Not at all.
I
Some
mean,
people,
I let my kid do it,
but some kids dress up as Superman or
Well, yeah, she
Spider-Man
does, yeah,
or
she
do whatever.
knows.
But like, what's the difference, right? Like, if you it's still fantasy, right?
but I think the kid,
Not real.
you're not supposed to know who they are. Yeah,
Well, still,
because you're too young.
I don't know.
Who these
I don't
people are, you know.
I don't know.
It's easy to explain to people like you that work in horror and
I guess.
respect
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
I
you
guess.
try to tell someone, imagine trying to go to like a different job, like if you're at like a job interview or something, and saying like, yeah, I was obsessed with horror films as a kid and walked around my neighborhood.
Yeah, and they're like,
Jason costume.
oh, it's about all the time we have, buddy.
yeah, time to get out of here.
We'll let you know.
Don't call us.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
That used to be my dream when I was a kid, was just to play Jason someday. But now that I'm old enough,
Yeah, that's still my dream.
Friday film's being made.
Hold now, hold.
Mm.
I'm not tall enough.
No, yeah, I guess not.
Gotta be like 6'2" minimum.
I'm 6'3", so I made the cut.
There you go.
I got it.
You're halfway there. Now that makes sense. What are we debating?
I wanted to debate like if a movie that you guys love that we hate, or a movie we hate that you love.
Tell me a movie you hate. How about this? What's John Carpenter's best film?
The Thing. No doubt about it.
Fuck. That's true.
Halloween's my favorite movie ever, but The Thing is his best film.
Wait, huh? How can you know that
I-
the thing is better, but you don't like it? as much?
I love The Thing. I love The Thing.
It's a superior film in every way.
Okay, here's the debate now. Let's
Okay.
go toe to toe. Okay, Halloween for several reasons is my favorite film.
Because it's Bond, Michael Myers.
It's about Michael Myers. Well, I don't even like most of the sequels. I do because like I feel like I have to.
Yeah.
Like I have to like them. I don't know what that is. Same with like Friday the 13th. It's like it's Jason. It's Michael. It's like I have to like him.
Yeah.
But like Halloween was so special to me because it inspired me to get into filmmaking. I think it has some of the best cinematography like ever. I love Dean Cundy. So he's my favorite cinematographer by far. I think the score is incredible. It's just so simplistic. And then I'm from Illinois. So having that essence there as well, and then the fall, I love fall. I was born in October. It's just like everything about that film fits my life.
Yeah.
But I know The Thing is better.
Okay. Then,
It's not really a debate then. I mean,
no, it's not a debate. As long as everyone knows it's a fact,
yeah.
it is his best film.
Well, what about like Wes Craven? I think he's a little more controversial in terms of what his best film is.
It's true. I would say Scream.
I would say Scream too. I would also.
I mean,
say
it's
Scream.
a clever. What he did with Scream reinvented horror in the '90s, and
Yeah.
it was kind of dead there.
Changed.
It was all this cheesy shit that was like, it came out before it.
Yeah.
After the end of the '80s slasher, and then before Scream came out.
Yeah, like everyone always talks about like there was before Halloween, there was after Halloween, then there was before Scream, then there was after Scream, and I
Is there a
it's
before
special.
Halloween? And who are these people saying this before Halloween? After Halloween?
Well, okay, technically Texas Chainsaw Massacre spawned the slasher genre, right?
See,
but like
actually,
I think Halloween
yeah.
really perfected it.
You need to go back like 50 years.
Yeah.
I'm before
American
The Thing-
You mean American slashers?
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm not saying like the slash film in general. Obviously, there's been like a killer that's killed a lot of people. That's slash film. But like before it became like really trendy,
Yeah.
I think like everyone ripped off Halloween. I mean, F-13 ripped off Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like that's
It brought it to the mainstream.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
what was the point of that? Why are we talking? Like, oh, okay. There's,
Oh, because that's like, what's this before Halloween? I'm like, don't give
Yeah.
Halloween that much credit.
It deserves that much credit.
Does Peeping Tom deserve credit?
Fuck yeah, Peeping Tom.
Yeah.
He
deserves
stole
credit.
that shit straight up.
Well, yeah, it's the first movie to put it inside the killer's POV.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's how Halloween is. There's no
No.
before Peeping Tom and after Peeping Tom. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there is. There's
There should
movies
be.
before POV.
But no one gives you credit. you know.
Is it? I mean, is part of your categories like box office success, or it's been accepted in the Western market, or it's a household name?
In terms of like Wes Craven's films, are we still
No,
talking about that? Or like,
just in general, when you mention things like pre or post Halloween, that there are a lot of examples, or pre or post Friday. If you take any of those, there were films that were made very similar to that, late 50s and all through the 60s and 70s.
Right.
That while they weren't precisely shot, like that, and even sometimes the music wasn't even like scary music. It was like this weird jazzy whatever. You're like, the fuck am I watching? But still, it still had all the similar themes where there's like one person and they're trying to kill, and it's sort of whodunit style, a thing. You can look at those elements in Halloween. You can see those elements in Friday. You can even see some of those things in Texas, where Texas was much more brutal and sort of falling into like a gonzo, like the kind of film style or something.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
Right. If you were actually going to do before and after assessment of slash films, I think, like you were even saying before, I think giallos are like the way to go. I think Blood and Black Lace is actually what spawned a lot of American slasher. So that's why it's one of my
It goes
favorites.
way back.
Well, yeah. You can go back to Universal. You can go before Universal. You can actually go back to Milius if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So like,
All right. Scream Dance or Scream?
for Wes Craven,
Yes.
right?
Even though Nightmare on Elm Street's awesome. Here's the question. Take all the franchises.
Okay.
Who's the best?
So
Here's your choices. Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Halloween or Texas? That's all you get.
Um,
Pound for pound, which one is the best? You don't pick one.
there's a lot of like things you have to consider before you answer the question like this.
Just pick one.
No, we need to, because which one has the better movies?
Yeah, pound for pound.
Like consistently entertaining sequels.
And even though Texas doesn't have the many to choose from, so
If I were to pick one franchise to watch over and over again,
yeah, you can only get one. Which one is
it'd
it?
be Friday. Okay, I think Friday is the best franchise.
Top to bottom is your most entertaining, right? Out of those four.
Yeah, I would say.
What do you think?
I'd pick Halloween, and I'd only want 1 and 2.
Are you stuck with the other?
That's-
You
that's-
stuck with the other ones.
If
too.
I could do that, I'd do that too.
I'm stuck
well,
with
if I'm
it.
taking Texas, then because
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, H2O, I'm good. Like
But no,
I don't
you have
need
the
it.
other ones too.
Yeah,
So you got to watch them on repeat.
Yes, if I had the whole franchise, it'd be Friday. Even though there's some bad ones in there.
Sure.
But it's like I don't know.
You wouldn't take Nightmare?
I can't stand 5.
Mhm.
Actually, I don't like 4 either. You have something so quality as Dream Warriors,
Yeah.
and then you just kind of just shit it out and then kill all that cast in 4.
I'm like torn between Friday and Nightmare. Like
Yeah.
pound for pound, they're like right there, kind of. But
See, Nightmare's another one where if I can just say 1, 3, and Wes Craven's Nightmare, I'm good. Like that's perfect.
Yeah.
But not anything else.
Yeah.
okay,
It's hard to
yeah.
pick because there was times when that franchise took a hard right turn, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I think they all did.
And it took a while for them to get it back on track again, right?
Like,
And so you had
slasher started to die. That's why Part 6 is my favorite too, because you had to find a way to revamp it, and like Part 6 is one of the few across franchise that did it right.
Yeah.
Texas really fell off.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm under no delusions.
Yeah.
There.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually the best horror franchise. The one that's consistently been decent. Chucky. I think Child's Play
Really?
is actually probably.
They're all equally as shitty.
Dan-
What you would say?
Dan would agree with you.
They're all equally mediocre.
Dan really
The thing
loves
is, in every franchise, there's always that one that you know is just fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't think Chucky's really had that. Like, Friday the 13th, we can all either.
Because they're all mediocre to horrible to begin with.
All right, stop. we can say that like okay, Friday the 13th.
Why would you consider Chucky a masterpiece?
The first Chucky's pretty damn good.
I mean, it's not gonna make a list of like most influential horror films ever made. It's not on that level. I wouldn't even call it a film. I call
Is it on the same level as the original Halloween?
No.
Is it on the even Texas or even the Best Friday? I don't think so.
Or The Thing, or Shining?
Yeah, it's like afterthought. You like kick it and laugh at it.
But if you analyze Child's Play, it's incredible. It really is. It's really smart. The fact the animatronics are incredible too, and being able to do that, accomplish that back.
Well, yeah.
But I mean,
you can do that and not be
Child's
good.
Play is your favorite fast food, right? Like,
Yeah, it's fun to.
It's like, yeah, it's good, but at the end of the day, it's just fucking killing you. I know, okay, all right.
Yeah, exactly. But as long as I don't like it that much. It's corny, and I know what it is, and I don't expect much out of it.
I was hoping you were going to say Puppet Master.
No, there's
no.
I have all the Puppet Master films.
Yeah.
So there's this new one, right?
Littlest Right.
Littlest Right.
Yeah.
I've not
I watched the
seen
trailer
that.
on it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, did you watch it last cast? Thanks, Wes.
I'll take the Trimmers.
You did an episode
I'll take
on
the
it?
Trimmers franchise over.
It was a long time ago.
Oh, okay. How long ago was that?
A long time.
Probably a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was probably a little busy.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I missed that.
Just a little bit.
It does have like a new setup now, though.
Yeah.
With all of them. It is
But it had like a ton of actors in that one, right? Like far more than it should have. Like known people.
Yeah. No.
Because
like,
but Fangoria like funded it all, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The Puppet Master series.
Where were we? When was it?
When was that film was made when?
It came out. It was made like a year and a half ago, but it premiered at Texas Frightmare.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
And they're just now pushing it on like rental online right now.
Yeah.
And I watched the trailer and I was like, wow, all these
So then,
people are
while I
in
was ignoring the internet.
And they did like
I think
100%.
that's when it came out.
Yeah.
They were doing like 100% practical effects too.
Oh,
Yeah.
did
That's
they?
good.
100%.
So
Sweet.
Upgrade.
Like it
Did
should
you
be.
see Upgrade? You need to see Upgrade.
No.
upgrade from Lee Winnell.
I couldn't tell
Nice.
you.
Look at that. Yeah, Lee Winnell though is like he wrote and directed. I think he was the writer of Saw
Okay.
and Insidious.
I'm going to see it. I haven't watched it yet.
All of this practical, they used practical in that, and I was like, wow. Like I was really impressed that they did that. From the horror world, so I was like, yes, when more of those need to be made, so that more people get inspired to make different weird shit, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what
Not your
matters.
typical paranormal.
Correct. And
Run-of-the-mill, yeah.
And I don't have problems with those movies.
Yeah, some of
I just
them are
don't.
good, yeah.
I don't want 500 of them.
No.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like make a couple, and you're like, all right, you did it. Like, show us the next thing.
But
You know?
I'm cool if they're done well. I think James Wan has really changed
He's good.
modern horror because like he once again brought back building suspense and
He's good.
knowing how to earn scares.
Yeah.
But then everyone tries to do what he does.
They kind of copy it, and that's where you see the crappy movies.
Yeah. That's why like when Annabelle came out and it was still because James Wan produced it, but he like didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah.
And it stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a doll.
It's a
He's taking you drive it.
Dude, you just
New
fucking
York.
hate doll movies. This
I
is
know. You
ridiculous.
just take the doll, you drive it, you put it on the first class seat, and you just fly it away.
Yeah.
Done.
Can you do that with Chucky too?
Yes, I would rip Chucky in 40,000 different pieces. He wouldn't even know how to put himself back together by the time I was knowing it.
See that whole thing when the credits roll and then everyone says,
Yeah.
"What would you do?"
It's been, Chucky, I'd have booted his
He's
ass
like,
off
I
the
would
balcony.
drop
And I
kick
went
his
down
ass.
there.
Like, yeah.
I'd mail one part of him to the different parts of the world.
Mm.
After I burned him.
Yeah, but like
What's he going to slash my knees? What's he going to do?
he could always come back.
What's my body?
He could
Is that moving?
he could take over a human body, you know, and come back.
Well,
Someone
puppy,
bigger
yeah,
and tougher than you, Ronnie.
But he's not. He's a doll. He's like this big.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
Just joking. I'm not big on dolls. I don't find it scary.
Yeah, really fast. I'm curious. Are you guys excited for the new Halloween?
Yeah.
Did you like the trailers?
Yeah.
Think they show too much?
I don't watch a lot of trailers.
Oh, you know
For
what?
that reason.
I was talking to Dan, and he said that you guys were like, you thought the same way we did in terms of the gore.
Mhm.
Like when he drops the teeth over.
That was the one thing that got me.
I hated that.
Yeah.
It's growing on me some.
Yeah, like why is he collecting teeth?
Well, you have to knock the teeth out,
Pull them out.
collect the teeth,
Put 'em in your
find
pocket.
somebody to scare the
But
teeth
even
with.
like start there, knock the teeth out. Like, is
Well,
that a Michael thing? Is he
I guess
knock
if he
teeth
hits you
out?
there, they might fall, but he probably wouldn't just.
But
Systematically
show me a
pull.
scene where he walks up and punches somebody in the mouth.
No, it'd probably be secondary, like.
Like he
The
swung
knife,
something or
yeah,
had a
yeah,
hammer and
yeah,
A
yeah.
wrench.
I always feel like Mike should be the guy that it should be one quick, slick move.
yeah, that's what he does. I mean, he goes
Yeah.
straight for
Unless
the
you're Rob
like.
Zombie and he stabs you like.
Well, we don't
85
talk
times.
about that. We don't talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just cut that off.
But I mean, like, even if you hand him a hammer, which in that scene he walks up in that extended, like that longer when he
Yeah.
walks up
Yeah,
and grabs
yeah.
the hammer out, like,
Yeah.
then he's gonna probably go right at the temple with somebody, right?
He
Just
does in Hollywood,
pop,
too.
and it's over,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
why does he go?
Weird.
Because knocking teeth out is not a kill move; it's a torture move, and that
Yeah.
Michael's never tortured.
Well, have you seen the picture of it too? Have you seen they released a still of the guy with his teeth out.
No.
Oh no, I didn't see
It's
it.
bad, man. Like it's really graphic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like it just doesn't feel right to me.
Mm-hmm.
And people are saying he's driven by rage now instead of just being a random dude to pick somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of get where they're coming from. I mean, you're 40 years in a penitentiary, and
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just don't feel like he's that guy that had a mentality. Just no matter what, I always say like what Loomis said, and the ones like, listen, he sat there staring at the wall,
Yeah.
looking past the wall,
Mhm.
like he's just chilling.
But don't you appreciate a character more the less you know about their backstory?
No, that, and I feel like if you add rage to somebody, you give them a little more motive,
Yeah.
and it's like he's actually like just pissed
Well,
off.
you're
at
giving
him.
them an emotion that humans can relate to.
Yeah,
So then you automatically can like start to sympathize a little,
Yeah.
and then
Now it's like you formed a backstory in your head.
yeah,
Right,
and you've
yeah.
humanized, and you've now taken away like some of the power and the mystique of that character.
Yeah.
So there's some things that should be, I think, left like you just don't know.
yeah. That's why I was excited they were skipping even Halloween 2. It's like they weren't even siblings anymore.
Mhm.
You had nothing there. He's just a random dude that just picks him.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was fun.
We done?
Thank you guys.
You're very welcome.
I feel like I shouldn't sit here longer. So I could do this forever.
Yeah, no, it's
So-
fun. It's fun to just sit and talk about horror stuff and film. Things that are inspirational and things that aren't, and